Hello, my name is Jamie, and update from the last video that I made. I'm a newer YouTube channel, and I just want to share my life with people. I am a Christian. Um, I'm currently in a nursing facility because I broke my femur, which is the largest and heaviest bone in your body. I weigh over 400 pounds, and um, I just want to share my life. Let me tell you a little bit about my plans that I've been trying to do for more than a couple of years now. I've known that I've had to retire because I'm getting up to retirement age. So I went and I purchased a 93 E350 retired ambulance because it's already got electric back there. And I also have a little propane burner and a sink and stuff like that. Anyway, long story short, um, I felt probably decades ago, probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 decades ago, um, led to take the scriptures, and I believe it is for all of us that once we get saved, it wouldn't be in the Word of God if it wasn't. And I think it's more than just an example for rich people. Because I do believe that it's harder for rich people to make it into heaven. That's just my personal belief. We can respect each other for our beliefs. And anyway, long story short, I feel as if um, my God loved me so much that he stooped to my level to die a death that only I would feel. Now, he did have to come into a building down here, or as my Jewish high priest friend says, a canister like a human called Jesus. He himself said that he and the Father are one, and with our intelligence level compared to his, any other explanation or any other way to describe him, his person, is only for understanding purposes only. And long story short, I feel as if Jesus is calling me to go and see what He's created for me. I've been a Christian for over 4 decades now, and as the song goes, His name just gets sweeter and sweeter. It's not an easy road. It's not a good road, contrary to what most people believe or teach. Um, Also, real quick, so now that I'm thinking about it, um, since I am in the nursing facility, I may have to let you go real quick. But before I do, I would like you to hit subscribe and the bell so that you can be notified. That's all the support that I ask. I want to go on the road and preach this gospel. I don't have to preach behind a pulpit to preach. As a matter of fact, um, I've driven cab for years on and off, and I've driven cab, and it has been a calling. I could say because when I get behind the wheel and I got a passenger in the back seat, I'm in my element. That's where God used me the most. Now, I had a rollover accident about 3 years ago, and actually, I went through a traumatic experience. In where prior to that, I was actually, as I was getting out of the hospital from healing from a leg infection that I dealt with for 3 years, staph MRSA and cellulitis. And that's how I was able to buy Bam Bam. Bam Bam is my ambulance, by the way. And I don't know if you hear the outside noise outside of my room, but I got the door closed. But you'll have to forgive me. I don't have very good equipment. I'm doing the best I can. But anyway, I bought that ambulance with the settlement because she blew through the stop sign. I lost my job. I haven't worked for 3 years. And part of the healing process for me, and part of the plan anyway, was to go up and help my brother, whom we thought was terminal from a motorcycle accident decades ago, where he had multiple brain trauma and where he um, the settlement was $750,000 down, $2,600 a month for the rest of his life. If he would have died before he was 62, my sister would have gotten all the payments. Now that explains it all. Um, but let me just go a little bit farther. You know how your hip is kind of heart shaped? Well, his was like this. He was in a coma. It took him probably years probably about a year or so. I can't remember. It was a pretty traumatic time in our lives. And uh, uh, anyway, long story short, I get up there um, after the rollover accident. And funny thing is, when I lived up in Toledo, Ohio, where I was raised, I've been down here in Fayetteville, North Carolina for um, over 2 decades, about around 25 years now, and I'm so glad I did. My life changed drastically, but I've been trying to get back up there to visit, and the only other time that I was able to go up there was for my baby brother's funeral um, a while back. Anyway, getting back to my brother, terminal brother. As soon as I get up there, within days, this is in Northwest Ohio now, where they have blizzards up there. I mean, if it's not a blizzard, it's very cold out there, and it does get below zero quite frequently in the wintertime. And it can stay down in the zero, below zero. I'm out going down my brother's road in my underwear because I guess when you have I had a urinary tract infection with a psychotic episode. I'll get into the psychotic episode. Well, I already touched on it, but anyway, after that psychotic episode, during the psychotic episode, I honestly thought I knew I was in trouble. I just didn't know how or what. But I needed my sister, and I don't know if I called her or not. A lot of the details are still kind of fuzzy, but what I do remember is I remember going in the backyard yelling for my sister. I knew she was out there. I don't know why you're not coming out here. What's going on? And I couldn't find her in the backyard, so I went over through the driveway to go up front, and I had found a chain, and I busted the neighbor's window, and basement window, and then I went down the driveway and went down the road, and there was a car warming up down the street, and I'm sitting there knocking on the car door because I thought my sister was hiding in the back seat. Now I remember looking, and there's nobody in the car, nobody. It's just warming up. I don't know if it was locked or not because I didn't even try it, but anyway, then all of a sudden somebody yells across the street, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I look, and I just go back there looking for my sister. Finally gave up, and I started walking down the street again. And then I remember seeing a paddy wagon. They still got paddy wagons up there. Um, but the cop pulls up. I think he got out, and he's coming towards me, calmly. And I'm not. I don't think I was hysterical, but I think he knew something was going on. And I told him, I said, "Take me to the hospital. Take me to. I got to go to the hospital." And so he guided me to the back without touching me. Of course, this is during COVID, um, when COVID really hit us hard. And he says, "Go on and climb up in there." And decades ago, I broke my right knee, and I've had trouble with it ever since. And since I am top heavy, that's a lot of trouble. I'm always afraid of falling. That's only natural when you break your knee. I'm sure most of us know that once your knee breaks, your life changes forever. Um, And so I climb up in there. The only way I could do it is if I rolled up in there. And I remember when I did roll, the wall pretty much stopped me when that knee hit directly onto the wall. Um, I don't think it did much damage, but it did hurt. Um, and anyway, I climbed up into the seat and he took me down to the hospital. In the hospital, there was, of course, doctors and nurses, a lot of them around my room. And they're trying to talk to me and everything. And I don't remember all the details in there, but I do remember a lot of people surrounding me. And I remember directly across the hall was another room. And they had a high-ranking officer that came out of the police department, or maybe it was the hospital security. But I mean, he was dressed up. I mean, he had the ribbons on his chest and everything else, and tried talking to me. And I remember the doctor coming out of that room and talking to me, and I remember looking at one of the instruments thinking, wow, what is this? And I remember them telling me to get up in the chair, and I don't remember nothing else of the emergency room. The next day, I woke up in ICU with a catheter and didn't have a clue that they were going to put it in. And I was up there for a while. I don't even know how many days now. It's been so long. And then I went down into um, yeah, I think I went into rehab briefly for evaluation or something, and then I didn't stay there that long. I got released, went back home, and shortly thereafter, my brother gets diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and of course, I was going to be his primary caregiver because my sister worked. I believe she works full time, and with a great job that she's got with the public school system there. And I thank God that, hey, Cherie, I love you. Uh, I count on you leaving me a message. Help the channel out.